Hey, soulmates. Good evening. How are we? Don't be shy. Come in. Welcome, welcome. Come in. Let me know who's here and where you are from, because I can't see that information, but I would love to know. Hey, how are you, friend? Good evening. Who else do we have here? That's what's up. Good to hear. Happy to hear that. How are we doing on this hump day? I got Blake, I see CJ, C, and B Fields. Thank you all for joining. Hi, Blake. Looks like you are in Canada. I love my Canadian friends. Don't be shy. Check in. Let me know where you're from. And thank you for joining. Good, good, good. Solomon, hello, friend. Hi, soulmates. How are you? Long time no see, soulmates. It's been a while. It has been months since I've did my last live. No, it's still summer. I think the last time I did a live was in July, the beginning of Cancer season. And now here we are in Virgo season. I am well, Solomon. How are you? How is your mom doing? Full moon eclipse blessings to you. Thank you. And likewise. Talk about the full moon. I would love to know how this is showing up for you, soulmates. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. Hey, Jackie. Welcome here from Liverpool. Good evening. Thank you for being here. And thank you all for joining. Because today is September 10th, right? We know it's Suicide Prevention Month, but today is World Suicide Prevention Day. So therefore, we are honoring it, we're recognizing it all over the world. It's not just about what's going on in the United States, because suicide is not something that just affects us in the US. Nice, Solomon. I'm happy to hear that. Well, I'll definitely keep her lifted in prayer. Excellent. So I want to give us a few more seconds before we get started. So just allow more people to join in. And again, don't be shy, soulmates. Check in, let me know who you are. I see Marshall and KA. Welcome. And I understand if you all are driving and you can't type, totally understand. Be safe. Drive carefully. So I want to ask you, soulmates, because you all know I'm all about creating safe spaces, honesty, openness, and being able to speak our truth. So I want to ask you, have you ever carried a weight so heavy that you just weren't sure that you could keep going? A silence that is so thick that it just presses against your chest like stone. And the kind of silence that it robs you of your sleep, knots in your throat, and it just forces you to smile, all while your spirit is just breaking on the inside. See, I know that silence. I know that silence oh so well. I'm not saying I'm proud of it, but I do know it. I can identify with it. Because 6 years ago, see, that same silence tried to take me out. And it wasn't just because 6 years ago my marriage was unraveling, but it was because the future that I had imagined for my son and for my family and for myself, it was shattering right in front of me. And when you can't see a future, silence, it becomes the only language that you know. And for me, it told me how to hide my grief, hide my pain. It told me to just hold it all in. Just keep working, keep smiling, just keep showing up while I'm slowly just disappearing on the inside. That silence was suffocating. And yet, what I do know is what I thought was my breaking point actually became my breakthrough. Because I was not intending to survive. My goal was to end it. But I did survive. And because I did survive, I get to sit here today and tell you, soulmates, that wherever we go, no matter where you are, I want you to know that silence does not win. And just like silence didn't bury me, it won't bury you. Speaking my truth saved me. And that's why today matters. That's why I'm doing this live. This is why I speak my truth. Because what almost ended me is the very same reason why I get to sit here with you today. See, people often think suicide is about wanting to die, but it's not. It's about not seeing another way to live. See, that's the cruelty of silence. It convinces you that you have no other options. It tells you to smile through the breaking, to keep pretending, all while your soul is just unraveling. But I want you to know, soulmates, that is not weakness. If you've ever experienced that type of silence, that type of darkness, I want you to know you are not weak. You're far from it. But what you're doing is trying to deal with the silence. Think about how that feels when you're sitting there in that pain and in that silence. And even if it's not even in your darkest night, even if you've never been in a boat where you felt like you wanted to end your life, it can still show up in other ways. In fact, it does. See, silence, it shows up at work, it shows up in our relationships and our families, in the way that we've been taught to keep carrying heavy things quietly, even while they're crushing you. And that's why I wrote my book, Healing Out Loud. Because it's not just a book, it's not just my story. See, I'm the vessel. But I created it, I wrote it as a blueprint to prove to somebody else that survival can indeed become a system of healing. And to prove that your life, your breath, still matters. So thank you, soulmates, for joining me today. And if this space is already speaking to you, if you feel seen and if you feel less alone, then I want to invite you to support this work with the donation here on Insight Timer, because every gift helps me keep creating these spaces where we speak our truth, where we get to breathe together and heal out loud. So thank you to all of those who have ever given to me, and thank you to those that are here tonight, because your presence matters. You showing up today is you supporting somebody who may be in a dark space. You showing up today is you showing support for those that we have lost due to silence. Hey, Jack. Is it Ivan? Hi. Oh, thank you. Hello, Kay. Hi, Lisa. Hi. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, Jackie. And thank you for being here. And thank you to all the soulmates that just joined, as well as on YouTube. So again, soulmates, thank you. Thank you, honestly, for being here, because this suicide it's an issue that nobody wants to talk about, but we have to. This is the only way we get to reduce this stigma. The more we talk, the more lives we save. And I told you, soulmates, I'm committed. I'm committed to saving as many lives as I possibly can. Lisa says, I've been so up and down lately, been feeling empty and lonely. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing that. Thank you for showing up here and knowing that you're here in this space with us. You're not alone. You're never alone. Even in the darkness, trust me, I've been there. You're never alone. Even outside of Insight Timer, you always have spirit supporting you. Your ancestors, your spirit guides, your loved ones, there's always support around. Because silence will convince you that you are lonely. Because my silence convinced me I was alone. But see, spirit reminds us that we are connected, soulmates. We are all connected. And right now, the skies themselves are testifying. Because see, we just moved through the Pisces full moon and the eclipse on Sunday the 7th. And see, what this portal opened up for us was a revelation on pulling back buried truths. Everything is resurfacing. Everything must come up. And even yesterday on the 999 portal, it cracked open more endings, more completions. I myself experienced an ending and so grateful for the new beginning. See, this energy now that we're in, this is a vibration of release, a spiritual rebirth. So Lisa, what you're experiencing is not happening to you, it's happening for you to embrace this spiritual path that spirit is inviting you to join. And as we look ahead, we're going to have the solar eclipse on September 21st, as well as a new moon in Virgo. So this energy will be asking us to be clear, be very specific. It's time to lead with integrity and align with your right path, the right people, the right opportunities. See, we're in a season now of preparation, soulmates. Because the universe is stripping away what can no longer hold us. So we can finally step into what will carry us forward. And please know, healing is never just personal. The more we heal, the more the collective heal. Healing is legacy. And the work that we do today, it ripples into generations that will carry our name tomorrow. And for those that have been following me, have been joining my lives for about a year now, you'll know I've been preparing us for this moment since the beginning of me sharing my truth. I told you when Pluto moved into Aquarius last November that this new chapter, the way that the world is moving, because the world is shifting, the world is changing daily. And I don't know about you, soulmates, but so is my life. Even our lives are changing constantly. But anything that is not built on a solid foundation, soulmates, it has to crumble. And it's not a destruction. See, that's spirit protecting us. Because it's removing that does not serve you so that you can finally be clear enough to follow the right path. Nothing that is false can carry you forward. So how has this season been showing up in your bodies for you, soulmates? Are you feeling restlessness? Are you feeling like you can't sleep at night? Or maybe you're feeling a pull to face what you've been trying to avoid. See, this is the collective shadow work, the reckoning period, the moment of revelation. Facing this silence that has tried to bury us once and for all so we can be free. Hi, April. Oh, is it muffling my mic? Okay. I don't know what that is, but thank you for saying that. Ah, got you. Sleeping has been strange. Jack, you're not alone. This energy has been intense, and we're still in between eclipses. So your sleep patterns, maybe your energy. I know a lot of people have been experiencing sickness, people catching colds, sinus infections. Spirit is trying to just get our attention. Sit with it. It's like the skies are shouting and our bodies are carrying it. Spirit is insisting, soulmates, that this is the time. The time is now to heal. And healing is not going to wait. Because see, pain doesn't care how much money you make. It's not waiting on the right paycheck or the perfect partner or the next opportunity. Because see, left unattended, pain becomes poison. But when we give it breath and when we dare to speak it, pain becomes power. And I know you felt it. Like Jack said, sleep has been strange. Maybe your emotions are rising without warning. I've been seeing and experiencing the fluctuations, the ups and downs. One day I'm okay. Sometimes it can be in the same day. Just go with the flow. Allow spirit to move through you. Allow the healing to unfold. Because these are not moments of weaknesses. These are indeed messages from spirit saying it's time to live different. Not later, but now. It's time to get honest. It's time to get serious about what it is that you're ready to remove and let go of as you're stepping into this new chapter, this new world that we are co-creating. So where has silence been living in your life, soulmates? Is it at work? Is it at home? Is it in your relationships? Healing takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Some days are harder than others. I'm healing now as I speak, and I just want to cry out for help. Lisa, let it flow. Let it flow. Let it go. Cry. And cry and scream for help and watch what spirit brings. Because that's exactly what this energy is calling for you to do. Don't hold it in. Allow the emotions to flow. Because truthfully, once you allow the emotion to flow, you start to feel better because the energy has been released. Yes, Ivan, I get it. All three. Some days will be harder than others. Some days will be harder, and that's the path. I even put it in my book. Healing is not linear. It's not an A through Z process. Sometimes you go from A through B, back to Z, all the way through F. But the thing about it is, once you've done it, you start to understand yourself better. You start to realize what these moments of restriction are, what this discomfort is. Then you can understand what it is spirit is trying to get you to do. See, 6 years ago, I couldn't see that. 6 years ago, I can only see that my life was ending and I didn't see a future outside of what I thought was stability. What I thought the American dream looked like was me being a married woman with a house and a family. But spirit showed me that I make family wherever I am. I create the family that comes from me. So what I thought was an ending was actually a new beginning, because 6 years ago, if I had not experienced that, I wouldn't be sitting here today as a survivor that I am. Thank you, Lisa. When my world was collapsing, I didn't heal in one piece, because you just can't. You heal in fragments. Just like Lisa said, I want to cry. Guess what, Lisa? I did a lot of crying. But I healed with each tear and each word and with each breath that I took. Over time, those fragments, they started to become a rhythm for me. A rhythm that I now call heal. Because slowly, these fragments, they began to form a rhythm. It was a rhythm that spirit gave me to keep breathing when silence was trying to bury me. See, I had to start by honoring my truth. So you can't heal what you refuse to feel, soulmates. You have to honor it. You have to face yourself. You have to do the shadow work. Look at yourself in the mirror and honor what's hurting. Stop pretending you're fine when you know you're not. Who would judge you if you spoke your truth, if you said and actually expressed how you felt? Because silence is heavy. And what we don't release, we will carry it in our bodies, in our minds, in our souls. It shows up in our relationships. It shows up in our food. It shows up in our bodies. We can't sleep, or we're eating, overeating, not eating. But somewhere we're out of alignment. We're out of balance. So write, express how you feel, write it, cry it out, move, dance, pray, meditate, but just let the body speak what the mouth cannot. You have to express it, acknowledge it, and align. Because healing is more than just letting go. It's about leaning in. Choosing what brings you back to your center. and aligning with the practices and the people and the places that return you to peace. Align with who you are so that you can return to the version of you that Spirit created you to be, the highest version of you. Not the version of you that lives in fear, not the version of you that says life isn't worth living, or I don't want to sleep today, or I can't get out of bed, or this is just not worth it for me. See, that's the fear. That's the parts of us that tells us we're not worthy. That's somebody else's voice. That's not Spirit. See, that was the problem with me. I didn't hear Spirit. All I can hear was the devil within telling me that life wasn't worth it. But that's not true. Because if I had loved me enough to know better then, I never would have took the attempt, because the God in me, see, loves me too much to even attempt to end my life when I know how valuable my life truly is. Yet I'm grateful, though, for that chapter, because now I get to be an inspiration for somebody else. Get to be the voice that I needed 6 years ago because I didn't see it. Now I get to align with people that are on the path to healing. I get to find places of peace because I didn't have any other choice, soulmates. I had to find peace because I couldn't keep outrunning myself. Spirit was not going to let me off that easy. I had to sit with it. And then I had to finally take initiative and lead with my healing. Because when I started to heal, and once I showed up as the healed version of me, when I decided to choose life, that's when I started showing other people how to do it. Showing others that their life is chosen just as much as I, because I'm not alone. We all are chosen. That's why Spirit gave us breath. That's why we have hearts in our chest and brains in our heads. We have a purpose. And therefore, my survival is now become my legacy. Because when you heal, you get to lead by example for others that, believe it or not, are watching you. And it's not just children. You have your colleagues, you have your partners, you have your own family members that will watch your healing. Be the example. See, heal is a soul detox. It's a cleansing of everything silence has ever tried to bury, so Spirit can finally move through you once again. Hey, Jacqueline, how are you, beautiful? We were meant to. Thank you, Ivan. I appreciate that. I was absolutely meant to be here. Lisa says God will be there for us to hold his arms open and comfort us. I'm letting go of things and people that no longer serve me and have continued to hurt me. And I have to let that hurt go. And I pretend I'm fine, and deep down I'm hurting. So no more I will hold these emotions in. I will let them out so I can continue to heal. I'm proud of you, Lisa. Just take it one day, one moment at a time. That's all you can do. Is it still going in and out? Okay, let me try it now. Let's see. I wonder if it's my earbud. Okay. Or it could just be Insight Timer. No, I'm joking. So what part of heal is resonating with you the most, soulmates? Is it the honoring part? Or is it the expressing part of heal? Because I find most often than not, the first step is usually the hardest. It's just even honoring the pain, even admitting that we have pain, because the world has conditioned us and made us believe that we have to be perfect. We have to just keep going. Nobody cares about your pain. Nobody even cares about you. And that's not true. I'm here to tell you, soulmates, I care. I'm here to show you, soulmates, that you matter. So honor your pain and be able to express it in a healthy, loving way that will bring you back to centering yourself. It's not even about expressing it specifically to any particular person. It's just about getting it out of your body, out of your mind, out of your souls. Allowing yourself to detox, because the soul deserves to detox. See, that's not something you get in a therapy session. You don't get the soul detoxification, that cleanse, that deep down we need to release and reveal. See, that's what I had to learn in my path of healing. And even in those 6 years after my attempt, I did therapy. I joined 12-step programs, but there was still another layer of healing that I still had yet to reveal until I went through the spiritual transformation a couple years ago. And that's when heal became my way to breathe again. But before I found that rhythm, I just carried silence everywhere. I carried it into work. And I worked in human resources for 16 years. I became so fluent in silence. I would just put a smile on my face, answer emails, sat in the meetings, delivered results, right? Because that's all that mattered. While deep inside, I am unraveling. See, that's the part we rarely talk about. We don't talk about the silence that we carry at work. God forbid they allow you to speak that at work, because how would that make you look? How will that make you be seen? See, the silence of being unseen at work and enduring workplace trauma and microaggressions is also part of the reason why I had my attempt, why I was suffering with so much silence. I was dealing with these issues not only at home, but even at work. So imagine when you don't have any safe spaces at home and work, where do you go? What do you do when you're in a room full of people and yet you feel completely invisible? And you're only praised for your productivity while your soul is just in pieces. And to give everything you have and still be treated like you're just not enough. But still, we keep going, right? Because the bills don't stop, the work doesn't end, and life doesn't stop. But that doesn't mean that we have to carry the silence. It doesn't mean that our voices don't matter. If anything, that gives you more right to speak your truth, to be honest, to set boundaries, to know that you're worth more than just their paycheck. And that's a powerful truth that I had to realize. Half of the struggles that I was experiencing was due to my workplace trauma. So, soulmates, where are you carrying your silence? And what would that look like to name it instead of burying it? If you could give it a name, what would you name it? See, when you name it, you're honoring it. Now we're honoring the pain. Now it can't overwhelm me. Now the pain and the emotion is not going to overwhelm me because my spirit is telling me, no, this isn't me. This is just the pain that is speaking. This is just the silence that I keep trying to hold in, that is begging me to release it. It's begging to be revealed and released and to be named. And truthfully, soulmates, 6 years ago, what I thought was my breaking point, that actually became my breakthrough. Now, did I know that? No. But I do know that anything that is not built on a solid foundation is going to crumble. And sometimes that collapse is spirit's protection. Sometimes the job will crumble, the relationship will crumble. But every time something crumbles, I know spirit is clearing the way for a life that was always meant for you to live. I know it because I've lived it. I've been living it. And every time I surrendered and allowed spirit to take what I no longer needed, something greater came into fruition. For it manifested, started to appear. I love it. I named mine Pinky from Friday. That is hilarious. You know what? I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, Ivan, therapy can only address sometimes the psychological aspect. Right. It doesn't get into the spiritual soul work of it. And not to knock therapy, like, no, do the therapy if that's what you need. But for some of us that have already done that and need more work, need deeper, because see, this is the thing, soulmates, as you evolve and grow, new levels, new devils. So once you've done that healing, once you've done the emotional, the psychological healing, well, what do you think comes next? Oh, it's a spiritual battle that we're facing now. Whether you're prepared for it or not, we're all experiencing a spiritual battle because that's where the world is going. We all are going to experience this wake up call, and we're either going to accept it or we're going to run from it, sink or swim. So allow things to crumble that need to crumble. And I know sometimes when you're standing in the rubble, survival doesn't feel like healing. Trust me, I know, because it did not feel like it to me when I had to drag myself out of bed every day, even after my attempt. It definitely did not look like a breakthrough. It just felt like chaos. It just felt like nonstop breakdowns day after day. Why did I wake up today? But my healing deserved more than that. I deserve more than that. So I allowed myself the opportunity to just release it all, to cleanse my soul. I started journaling. I started meditating. And most importantly, I implemented the heal method because now I'm experiencing mind, body, soul healing on all levels. And this is not about trying to impress anybody. This is about being able to have the tools and the support that you need when you need it. Because sometimes I will tell you, in the darkest moment, I can't get to my therapist. I can't pick up a phone. When you're in those dark moments and when the silence is screaming at you and it's telling you this isn't worth it, you need a tool that's going to tell you, no, it is, and you are worth it, and you're stronger than this. And most importantly, your breath is powerful. So when the silence gets loud, I had to learn how to return to my anchors, like one breath at a time, one hand on my heart, hand on heart to let me know I have a beating heart in my chest and I am still here. So that counts for something. Even if all you can do is just name what the pain is living in your body, naming it, grief, rage, or exhaustion. Don't have to explain it. You don't have to make it sound good. Just honor it, name it, and then stop carrying it. Stop holding this in silence. Then you know what else I do, soulmates? With one line, one affirmation. Because I chose life today, my world will shift. Because I chose life today, I get to touch another person. Because I chose life today, I get to sit here and be a survivor of suicide and to show people that as a survivor, it's okay to say that you're not okay. And sometimes that choice might mean just resting instead of pushing. Peace, be still. Sometimes you just can't do anything except sit in it. Allow yourself to sit in the emotion, let it feel, and let spirit speak to you. See, soulmates, we run from emotions, especially the negative emotions. We want to run from the sadness. We want to run from the crying, but that's spirit trying to get our attention. See, this is why we're humans. We get to have emotions. Isn't that a blessing? That is a beautiful gift of emotion. So the emotion tells me spirit is trying to get me to see something. Something's not right if my emotions are out of alignment. Spirit, get me back into that place that I need to be in. Heart and head alignment. Sometimes it can mean setting a boundary that no one else understands, and you don't have to make them understand. Saying no, or saying I'll pass, or I'd rather not, or I can't do this, that is your right, soulmates. Protect your peace at all costs because it's only you. Without you, what would we do? Or it might mean simply just breathing, closing your eyes, and just allowing the sunlight to just beam on your skin, or allowing the wind to blow through your hair. See, that's not weakness, soulmates. That's courage. See, that's legacy. That's what it looks like to heal. That's what it looks like when you choose yourself. Yes, sometimes silence absolutely screams truth. And thank you, soulmates, for the hearts. And also, soulmates, like I said, if you are feeling moved by this content, thank you, Jack, for the donation. I do welcome all donations. It helps support this work that I do, because for every dollar I get is another life that I get to touch. Resting instead of pushing, exactly what I'm doing. I'm proud of you, Jack. I know that's hard for a man to rest, to just be still and not do nothing. But that's okay. And I think that that's what this season is trying to teach us most importantly. It's okay to rest. It's okay to not do anything sometimes. Of course. And thank you to all my YouTube friends. Any questions, any comments, soulmates? Because I didn't want to just give you a speech as a person who had a suicide attempt or who survived suicide. See, I'm beyond the story. I'm just the vessel. The story is bigger than me. See, I went through it, so my son doesn't have to go through it. So his children don't have to go through it. So none of us have to pass down our generational baggage and our trauma onto our children or our grandchildren. Do they not deserve more than this? Do you not deserve more than this? So if you want to join me in this soul detox meditation, soulmates, that I am going to upload and release on Inside Timer so that you all can do this at your leisure, I would like to invite you into this space to just take a moment right now for us to just sit here and pause. Let's just breathe in this moment. And let's be grateful for waking up today. And let us be grateful for being in this space together today, because we didn't have to be here, but it is such a gift to be here. Because 6 years ago, I never would have imagined I would be here. And honestly, 6 years ago on this day, I was strongly considering ending it again because I still couldn't see the value in my life. I still didn't see the light within me, because that's what the shadow will do. The parts of you, the devil within, see, it will tell you that you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you failed. You lost the job, you lost the marriage, you lost everything. You're a failure. See, that's the shadow. That's the unlovable parts of us that tells us we're not good, but that's not true. Because the aligned, the true us, the us that spirit created, our higher self knows that that's not true. Our higher self says, this door closed so that another door can open. So what is next? Because this too shall pass. See, everything is a season, soulmates. Right now, we're in the season of Virgo. Virgo is all about getting structured, getting things in order. Plus, you have Saturn energy that is very much so about being stable, being secure. So if you're feeling like your stability is shaking up right now, soulmates, allow it to unfold so that you can begin again to rebuild, because you get the opportunity to rebuild. There's always another way. There's always another chance. Never feel like the end is the end. Never feel like you're alone. No matter what you do, you are worthy of life. Your breath is valuable. So I would like to invite you into this meditation with me, soulmates. A soul detox. And if you feel safe, I would like for you to close your eyes, or I invite you to, and place one hand on your heart, on your beating heart, and place one on your belly. Take a slow, steady inhale and hold it for 4 and release it for 6. And with every breath, I want you to whisper to yourself, I am still here. Feel the weight that you carried, the stress from work, the pain in your chest, the tightness in your belly or in your body. Allow it to loosen with each breath. And on your inhale, I want you to invite spirit in, invite spirit inside of your soul, side of your bodies, inside of your mind. And on your exhale, release what silence has been holding. Release the grief, release the fear, release the anger, release the need to have all the control. And as you continue to inhale, to invite spirit in, allow the energy to flow through you. If words rise, allow the words to flow. Let them out. If tears flow, let them out as well. And if nothing comes, then let that stillness be enough. Because see, this is your soul detox. This is you making space for spirit to move where silence once lived. Allow yourself to feel that peace. Allow yourself to feel that weight being lifted. Because every breath I took, the more I would breathe, the more I would remind myself, I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still here. I'm still standing. The lighter I started to feel, the more I could start to see the light at the end of my tunnel. And no, life did not become perfect right away. But at least I could start to see some glimmer of hope in each day that I chose to continue to live, each day that I made the choice to say, I'm going to make today count. I practice gratitude, daily gratitude for waking me up, daily gratitude for the people, the things that I have. All are part of the path of healing, because when you look for the good, you see the good in everything. You no longer have to look at the glass as half empty. It no longer looks like a life-altering experience, because I truly believe that every shadow, there is a light. Every pain can be turned into purpose, because you never know what your story, your truth, your experience can do for someone else. Just like those that came before us had stories, and maybe they didn't share their stories. Well, guess what, soulmates? We get a chance to do that. I love sharing my stories with my son. He knows what his mother went through. He knows what his mother experienced. He knows the struggles. He knows the path of healing I had to endure. And I'm proud to show him that. I don't want to hide it, because I need him to know that he comes from a lineage of fighters in his family. And he too is just as strong, if not stronger, than his mother. So be proud of your story. Be proud of your strength. Thank you, Ivan. My son will be 18 in November, and he sees it. He sees it. He's seen the seasons where his mother was losing and the seasons where his mother has won or is winning. And I don't even want to say it's a loss, but he has seen his mother go through a lot to get to the point that she's at today. And for that, that's all I need to do. Just keep showing up as his parent. Just being my authentic, real self is enough for me to show my son that his life is just as valuable and that he too has a purpose. And he has their own lesson. That's the thing about our children. They have their own journeys, right? Least I can do, or at least we can do as parents, is give them the foundation. Let me give him the heal method. So when life starts to life for him, he doesn't see escaping as his way out like his mother once did, because I didn't have those tools. I didn't have anybody speaking life into me. I didn't have anybody telling me that they endured the struggles that I went through. And when I spoke my truth, That's when I found out that there were other people in the family that went through the struggles I went through. And I was grateful that they were able to share their truth. But imagine if I had known prior to, maybe I could have went to them for support. That's why it's so powerful speaking your truth. It doesn't make you weak at all. In fact, it makes you strong, it makes you bold, it makes you even more powerful. I've never felt so powerful speaking my truth, telling people that yes, I am a suicide survivor. And yes, there were things in my past that I judged myself for, that I blamed myself for, and that I finally forgiven myself for. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. And Lisa, please reach out if there's anything I could do to support you. I hold space for people all the time. I create a healing out loud experience for all of my one-on-one clients because I need you to see that you're safe and you are not alone. And I guarantee you that anything that you could ever experience and go through, that healing can fix, because healing absolutely can fix it. Whether that's healing from relationship drama, work drama, childhood drama, you can heal from it all. If I had known this 6 years ago, wow. But I learned though, right? I learned it. I had to build it. And I guess that's why I was chosen to do this work, because I had to build this blueprint to show that this is the path to healing. If we can get ahead of this, if we can start teaching people how to heal, being the example of what it looks like to heal, creating a safe space for us to speak our truth and to heal, then perhaps we can save more lives, especially our youth. It hurts me to hear our youth struggle in silence, to unalive themselves. It hurts me to see that because they deserve way more than that. And as adults, it's our responsibility to be an example. Even if you don't have children, Spirit gave you life. So you are a leader and you are an example to this world. We all are. We all have a purpose and we all have a place. We are still here, soulmates. And 6 years ago, silence nearly took me under. I wasn't trying to survive, but I did. And that's why I'm here speaking. I'm proud. I'm bold. I'm honest about it. Because it's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Lisa. I'm so grateful to still be here. I'm more and more grateful each day. Even during this climate of change that we're in now with the eclipses. This entire year has, I don't know about you, soulmates, but this entire year has basically flipped upside down. What I thought my life was going to look like does not look like that. And I'm grateful. Like I told you at the beginning of the year, 2025 is going to be like a year that we have never seen before. And I'm grateful to be alive to say this has been one interesting year. But I'm happy to experience it. I'm happy to be here to live it. And it hasn't been easy, but it's a life, and what a life it is. So as you think about where you are today, think about where you're headed next. Even if you're sitting in your reckoning moment right now, even if you're sitting in a place of uncertainty, of confusion, of anger, of frustration, ask yourself what it is that Spirit is trying to get you to reveal, to release, so that you can step into your truth. And so you can step into the true version of you. See, that's why I experienced this 6 years ago. Had I not experienced that, I wouldn't be this. I wouldn't be bold. I wouldn't be proud to be a survivor. I wouldn't walk around telling people that I wrote a book to change people's lives. I would have never been able to do that because my spirit wasn't prepared for it. But when you go through the struggles and once you have hit rock bottom, you don't have any other way to go but up. So if you're in that place right now, I see you. I hold space for you. And know that you are not alone. See, we are all in this together. We are all connected. I've always said it. And whenever I experience this energy, soulmates, I know the collective is feeling it. I can feel it. And I'm here to let you know that it's okay. And we can unite and do this work together. That's right. Is it Najwa? I love that. That is a beautiful name. Depression, anxiety will not take you down. See, that's the spiritual test. That's the battle right there. That is the battle. Are you going to allow the devil within, the shadow, tell you that the depression, anxiety wins? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I thought my depression won. My depression, I did because I gave up. But once I regained my power, it was nothing that depression can do. And even if I have a bad moment, a moment of anxiety, because it will happen, you will get tested again. Now I show spirit, oh, I got this. I know how to handle this now, spirit, because I've done this work. I've healed. I've created the heal. I've implemented heal. I know this practice. I know what to do now. Anxiety will not win. Depression absolutely won't win. It is a liar. It absolutely is. And I'm glad you're here, Najwa. I'm so grateful that you're here because depression, anxiety will not win. I won't even allow it to win. I don't want you to allow it to win. I want you to realize every time that depression shows up, name the depression. Give the depression a name. Like Ivan gave his dark shadow parts. He named it Pinky. I love it. Give it a name. So when it shows up, you can acknowledge it because it's almost like different parts of you. I have to do this. I have to tell the different parts of me, today we're not doing this with you. See, that's how you learn to work with that energy. And then that's how you realize I am in control. Because the brain will tell you that the depression is going to win, the anxiety is going to win. But when you listen to your heart and the love and the God within your spirit is going to tell you the different. It's going to tell you that you are worthy. Depression doesn't win. And in fact, when you connect with your heart and listen to spirit, spirit is going to get you to reveal and see what it is that you're trying to silence and what you've been avoiding. Because that's really where it's coming from. Absolutely, Najwa, you will be okay. You most definitely will be okay. But start by naming what that depression and what that anxiety is. Where is this coming from? Because we don't just wake up like this, soulmates. The anxiety, depression, all of that stems from somewhere. Just like we don't just randomly gain 10 pounds. Eventually, the pounds start to pack up the more we eat. So the more we suppress, the more we try to hold it in, the more we stay silent, the more depressed, the more anxiety, the more your body feels it. You cannot heal what you can't feel. You have to release the energy. That's why I offer the heal method. That's why I do it in conjunction with speaking your truth, but also taking it to a deeper level. Because healing is multi-layered, soulmates. There's multitudes of healing, like I say in my book. My salt and sugar cravings, full moon. Solomon, my soul brother, I said that same thing just recently to my partner. I said that. I said, I can tell when my body is not in alignment. I crave sugar. And then there are moments where I don't even have an appetite. I can fast. But when you know yourself, when you started to implement practices like heal, when you've been able to identify your triggers, understand your body, then you'll know that, oh, it's a full moon. Absolutely. I am craving sweets. And that's really interesting, Solomon, that you experience that because that's what women usually we experience, right? When it's that time of the month. But the moon, see, that's feminine energy. So I'm not surprised. And again, when I say feminine energy, it's not about sex. This is not about being man or woman. This is about energy. So you craving that. Absolutely. Goes hand in hand. I get it. Oh, Queen, you are welcome. I see you. And I thank you for seeing me. Thank you for joining me, soulmates. And I truly do mean that. Because see, last year when I spoke on World Suicide Prevention Day, I spoke at a small community space here in Oak Park, Illinois. And I was grateful to share with those people. But outside of that, no, there are way more lives that need to be touched. And Spirit has shown me that my purpose in this lifetime is to touch as many souls as I can worldwide. Wherever I go, page or stage, I bring the truth that silence cannot win. Because that is the truth. Because I'm still standing, still breathing, and so are you, soulmates. And that's what Healing Out Loud is about. That's what the book is about. That's what this movement is about. Because it is a movement. And I'm not just here to survive, soulmates. Oh, I'm here to lead. I am here to create a whole new world. I'm here to create a safe space for us to heal out loud. When I create my Healing Out Loud centers, and when I create more programs and initiatives that I am going to bring into this world, because everybody deserves a safe space to heal. Yes, we do. We go through a lot. April says, I ate a whole pizza for dinner. I love it, April. What kind of pizza was it? And there's nothing wrong with it. Allow yourself to experience that. See, that's the energy we're in. Things are just so odd right now. I don't know if you've I know Jack mentioned it and some of the other soulmates have mentioned it, but have you experienced the shifts in your lives? Have you noticed the shifts in your bodies? Like right now, my energy levels tend to be low. Usually when my moon is conjuncting my midhaven, my energies are low. Sure enough, I woke up this morning extremely sleepy, but I knew it was coming. Because like you know, soulmates, everything I do is rooted in astrology. I heal with the astrology because astrology is a spiritual gift. Spirit gave us the sun, the moon, the planets, all of the planets, the stars. And I realized that everything that has been happening happens in seasons, happens for a reason. The shifts that we have been experiencing this year, we have never experienced before. And this is only the beginning, because everything that we have had to let go of, every version of us that we had to release, every person we had to let go of, everything, every job, every car, every whatever you had to lose to let go of, is preparing you for your future. What we do today is creating our future for 2026 and beyond, because this is a new world. What's a Brazilian pizza? I'm intrigued, Jack. I have never heard of a Brazilian pizza. Oh, thank you, Ivan. I salute you. Yes, Lisa, I am on YouTube. For those that don't know Soulmates, yes, you can follow me on my YouTube channel. I am streaming live now on there as well. And I'll be uploading more content on my YouTube, because I want to allow the collective, again, we're healing. I want to show you what this healing looks like as we're going through these chapters, as the seasons are changing. Can you believe it's September already, soulmates? It is September already. That means we have less than 3 months and this year is over. How do you want to end your 2025? Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be? How do you want to feel? I know for me, silence won't be it. Never again. Because healing out loud is a movement. It is a choice. We get the choice to say, I'm healing out loud today. I'm speaking my truth. I'm saying no. I'm setting a boundary. I'm saying I had enough. I'm closing doors that need to be closed. I'm walking away from jobs that need to be let go of. And I'm stepping into a better version of me. This is what the spiritual awakening experience is like. And 6 years ago in 2019, when I had my attempt, see, that was a spiritual battle that I was in, and I didn't know it. I didn't see it because truthfully, I disconnected from spirit. So I didn't understand what was going on, which is why I'm here today telling you that this darkness, that the depression, that the anxiety, that the shadows and the voices in your head that are speaking negative, fearful thoughts in you, that's the spiritual battle. That's what we're in. A moment of reckoning, a moment of truth. And you're going to decide whether or not you're going to live the real you or the version of you that somebody else told you you had to live. Yes. Multiple doors. And guess what, Jack? If one door closes, you can open up another one, because one thing I know is there are multiple doors. And just like you can walk in a door, you can walk out of a door. Happy PSL season, fam. What's PSL? Yes, Solomon. What a time to be alive. I wake up and say that every day. It is a time to be alive, right? Yes, Jack. Some can be trapdoors. That's a part of the spiritual process. Please believe you will get tested. The more you evolve, the more you heal, the tougher the battles. Trust me. But if you stay in alignment with spirit, if you stay in alignment with your soul, then you won't have anything to be concerned about. You learn the lesson, you do the test, then you don't fall for the traps. Trust me, I've opened up them trap doors, and then I got out of those trap doors because I realized that I'm not here to just survive. See, I'm here to live, I'm here to lead, I'm here to build soulmates. I'm here to partner with those that believe healing is a legacy like I do. Because see, my book Healing Out Loud is just the foundation. See, that was the testimony. That's just the blueprint. But I also do book tours and I speak because I bring this message to those that need to hear it, that need to feel it, that need to see and receive it. For those that are not able to join me on Inside Timer, or those that want to feel the message in person. Because healing is a legacy, healing is movement, healing is the new sexy. So if you are interested, soulmates, in having me bring this message into your company, into your campuses or your communities where silence has lived too long, then please reach out to me. Because this movement that we're building, and yes, we are doing this together, because I'm not doing this by myself. This movement that we are building is the new world that we're creating for generations to come. How powerful is that? Yes, thank you, Solomon. That is powerful. See, we know what the Bible was, how the Bible was written. We've read about Moses. We've seen what the greats have done. Guess what, soulmates? Now this is your opportunity to step into your spiritual purpose. Create your version of the Bible, like I did with Healing Out Loud. This is my legacy. So when I leave this earth, this incarnation of my life, that work will have been done, because that's why I was brought here in this incarnation, to have this experience. So I can learn to heal, so I can wake up the collective conscious so that they too can heal and step into their purpose, which is why the book is titled Reclaim Your Power, Your Purpose. If healing is a legacy to you, then I invite you to join me in this movement. And if you are in a space where you're looking to get your voice back, or trying to figure out what's next, how to find your purpose, then reach out. I work one-on-one, guiding people back to their voice and their peace and their purpose, helping them realize that just going to work every day is not their purpose. Just paying bills every day is not your purpose. Just having children or doing the same things day in and day out is not your purpose. We all have a higher calling. And even if you don't believe that to be true, and even if you don't want to step into that space, allow yourself to just think about what it would feel to live in your purpose. You know, I was talking to a fellow soulmate, another teacher from Inside Timer, Tammy, last week. And I told her, I said, you know, Tammy, I was in meditation and I asked Spirit. No, actually, I talked to my brother Jesus. I said, Jesus, what did you do in your moments of weakness, in your moments of uncertainty, in those moments when you felt like you wanted to give up? How did Jesus keep going? What would Jesus do? And I got my answer. Jesus would pause. Jesus would turn to his apostles, his disciples. Jesus would connect with spirit. Jesus would meditate. Jesus would take time to rest, to pray. So it's the same things that we're doing, soulmates. You just got to be consistent and stay on the path and allow the noise to just go, because it's a lot of noise. It's a lot of distraction. There's going to always be something that's going to put more pressure on you, especially now, especially in the world we're living in. They want us to feel like we have to grind, 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 and we can't do anything more than just the bare minimum. Prices are going up. Everything is inflated, but our dollars and the paychecks are not stretching. So what do? What do? We figure a way out. We figure out what it is that God created for us to do in this time. Because I know for a fact, Spirit promised all of us abundance and love. And we don't have to sell ourselves, sacrifice our bodies, our minds, or our souls. And I don't have to run from it. And I don't have to pretend like I'm not happy working a 9 to 5. And I'm happy being in spaces where I know that my voice was not being honored, where I was made to feel less than because I was a Black woman, because I looked this way, because I talked this way, because I spoke my truth. I've been in the spaces that shunned me because I spoke up. Every time I spoke up, somebody else had something to say. But Spirit said, that's okay. Do it anyway. Because that's our right, soulmates. Whatever your gift is, whatever your calling is, whatever it is that is holding you back from stepping into your place of healing, allow yourself to do it for you, most importantly, and then for the legacy, the generations to come. Thank you, Ivan, for the donation. Tammy is doing well, April. One thing about Tammy and I, that's my soul sister. And I always reach out to her when I am going through a spiritual transformation, a spiritual realignment, because I know that when I'm going through it, Tammy is always going through it. She just gave me the nickname last week. What did she call me? Cosmic Queen, because she knows that I'm into astrology, and I explained to her what this energy is. And I also invite her to look at her journals, because she journals like me. And I asked her, even just a few weeks ago, I said, Tammy, where were you last 888? Last August, what was your life looking like? And how is this August reflecting where you were last year? What is different about your life then versus now? How have you grown? What has shifted? What has changed? And what is Spirit leading you to next? And then she called me Cosmic Queen, because she's like, you're right. You're always on time. She's like, every time you reach out to me and you tell me this stuff, you are absolutely correct. She even paid me to start giving her this guidance, because she starts to see that, no, everything is happening for us. Every time we go through a shift, whenever the seasons change, whenever there's a new cycle, that energy affects us too, whether you realize it or not, soulmates. Nice. So for those that were asking, yes, my book is titled Healing Out Loud. You can find it on Amazon. You can also go to my website and get it. If you go to Amazon, you'll probably get it quicker, just because I have some books coming. And I have some that are already paid for and will be shipped out. So thank you, soulmates, for supporting my work. Thank you to all of those that have already purchased Healing Out Loud, that have expressed interest in it. And for those that have been reaching out, wanting to work with me, like I said, I bring this message to all spaces, because healing belongs everywhere. I don't care if you go to church, if you go to the mosque. I don't care if you sit outside and meditate with the tree. Healing is universal. And healing doesn't care how much money you make, what size shoe you wear, how big you are, how tall you are. Healing does not care about that, just like Spirit doesn't care about that, because that's not why we're here. And the minute we can let go of that narrative that we're here to impress somebody else, and that we're here to be big and rich and get all the cars and all of the stuff, see, that's the distraction. The minute we let go of that story is when we finally get quiet and we can really understand what Spirit is really trying to get us to see. Because the prosperity, the abundance, that will come when you are in alignment, when Spirit says it is time for you to receive. But you can't get anything until you step into your path of alignment. And what I know to be true, soulmates, is once you heal, you get closer to spirit. That's the beauty of healing. The more I heal, soulmates, the closer to spirit I get. That's how I stepped into a space of alignment. Because when I realized that I was not alone and I turned to spirit, and spirit reminded me of my gifts, and spirit reminded me that, my child, you are worthy and I have not forsaken you, then that's when I resisted. That's when I surrender. Practice detachment, the art of detachment. And that's not an easy feat. It's not an easy feat. But right now, the energy that we're in, it is asking you to surrender. It is asking you to let go of control and finally live the life that is meant for you. Even if you think the life you're leading now is meant for you, I'm not saying that it's not. But are you truly fulfilled? Does your body feel good? Does your mind, is your soul feeling good when you're in these spaces and if you're doing these things? And if you're out of alignment, and if you know deep down inside that where you are is not the space for you, then I invite you to figure out what's next. And if you don't know how, reach out, because I do this work. And you can always reach out on Inside Timer. You can follow me on my social, soulmates. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok at I am Kiana Shatine. I think I can share this. Can I? Oh, no, I can't. I thought I had a card in here. Nonetheless, also on my, actually, I am going to copy and paste this. On my YouTube at KS Empowerment. I also have episodes from my podcast, Make It Make Sense, on my YouTube. So you can always reach out there. You can reach out on my website. But please know that I am always readily available, ready to support you in this space, soulmates. Reach out through the website. You can book a call with me there. Or like I said, you can always reach out on Insight Timer. Lisa said, let the hurt go. Let it end. Let it hurt and heal. I have a friend that I loved and helped and didn't do me any good, but hurt me. And when I expressed my feelings, he didn't care. And I got blocked. So now I have to let that person go. I've been holding on to that friend because I didn't want to hurt his feelings, but now it's time to protect my peace. Yes, Lisa, I'm proud of you, Queen. I'm so proud of you because it's not easy to walk away from people. It's not easy to have to let relationships go. I know for me, it is not easy. But you have to realize that you doing that for him is a part of his healing path. And who's to say what the future may bring? You may reunite, but sometimes you have got to separate in order to appreciate. So allow him to heal while you heal. And maybe you can meet each other in your place of heal once the work has been done. Angela says, if you don't walk your true path, you don't find your true people. You end up in places you don't like, learning skills that don't fulfill you, adopting values and customs that feel wrong. Absolutely. Is that not the way we've been living? It's always felt like it's been that way. And there was always this voice inside of me, even in college, that always just said, I don't know if this is making me happy. You know, I had a period in college where I dropped out because I didn't want to do psychology, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I knew I just wasn't happy. But I still tried to play it safe and do the thing that they told us to do, go to school and get the degree and get the job. And here I am now, 41, saying I'm so glad that I walked away because I wasn't fulfilled. And I haven't felt freer. I haven't felt freer because now I get to find my true fulfillment, my true calling, and my true path. And I get to create this, co-created with spirit, that is, not by myself. Because everything I do is spirit-led. I don't just wake up and do this. Spirit guides me. That's the path of surrendering and learning how to detach and go with the flow. Yes. Those dang boomers push degrees on us. They did, April. And can I tell you, my son is a senior in high school now. And I asked him, what are your thoughts? What are your plans? And he said he's not sure if he wants to go to college because he doesn't want the debt. but he's thinking about trade school. I'm impressed. I told him whatever you want to do as long as you are happy and healthy. But I admire the fact that you said I don't want the debt. Nobody talked to me about the debt, the college debt that I was going to be in. And I'm not saying that the degree didn't, well, I guess it paid for itself because I did work in HR, but I wasn't happy. But what I'm doing now, healing, building a healing brand. See, there's no degree for this. Only way I can get to this point is through the path of healing with spirit. And there's no college program, there's no college professor, there is no PhD to healing because it's only something that you can create with spirit. I give you the blueprint and you decide what that looks like because this is how my healing looks. Because see, this is bigger than us, soulmates. Again, this is bigger than us. Healing is more than just about awareness. This live was more than just about suicide awareness. See, I am a suicide survivor. And on this day today, I get to sit here as a survivor and speak from the path of healing, from a lens of heal, and from a spiritual lens to say, I did not heal without my spiritual alignment, without my path to spirit. And yes, I did therapy. And yes, I did the medication. But without the spiritual piece, I was lost. I still was not fully embracing it. That's why I wrote the book. This is why I choose to share my message with people. Because healing is a beautiful thing. And it's not what somebody else said it had to look like. So allow yourself to go through that space. Allow yourself to open up that door. Lisa says, I got the door shut on me and I'm wanting to do the same treatment he gave me. And Lisa, that is nothing wrong with you admitting that. Because you do. Sometimes, especially when the ego and when that hurt and when that fear, that inner child starts to show up, the rejected part of us, yes, we want to get our lick back. Absolutely. But then when you realize that you're bigger than that you're greater than that your calling is way more powerful than just slamming the door in somebody else's face, you wish them love and light and pray that they heal so that you do the same. That's what heal looks like. They go low, you go high. You never allow anybody to bring you out of your elevated state of consciousness. You don't allow anybody to take you out of your vibration. Don't allow anybody to make you be somebody that you know you're not. That's how they get power over you. That's how they do you in corporate, right? That's how corporate America treats people. They make you feel like they have your power because they dangle that paycheck in front of you. It's really disgusting the way that the world has conditioned us to feel like that. It's very much narcissistic the more I think about it. You have to do it this way or else you don't receive this. That's just not the way the world is meant to be. That's why the world is shifting right now. This is why we are having these moments of reckoning. This is why things are crumbling. Foundations that have not been built. Oh, it's time. Now, soulmates, you don't wait on healing. Do it while you can in this lifetime. Sometimes the best thing to do is let them appreciate your absence since they cannot appreciate your presence. Absolutely. Absolutely, Lisa. And write it down. Write it down. Whatever that energy is, that anger, that frustration. I get it, Lisa. Trust me, I get it. I've been hurt so many times. I've done had so many people slam doors in my face, tried to walk away. I've had so many things taken from me, so many rugs pulled from up under me that now, when something happens like that and it doesn't go the way I had hoped it would, I just say, okay, what's next, spirit? Because I don't even have the energy to even put into being angry about it anymore. Not when I know I got a bigger calling and purpose in this lifetime. I don't even have the energy to waste on that anymore. That's what healing looks like. That's the part that is missing. That's the part that those that are suffering in silence, the version of me 6 years ago, I didn't see that because, see, I didn't know I had power. I felt powerless to my emotions. I let the depression tell me that my life wasn't worth getting out of bed today. My life ain't even worth living. My son wasn't worth having his mother be around. That's what the depression told me. That's because I didn't realize how powerful and how strong I really was. I didn't even know how powerful my spirit was until I didn't have a choice but to show it. And sometimes you got to prove it to yourself, even if you don't think you have it. But see, you know you have everything within you because spirit created us with everything we needed. I have suffered in silence with my trauma most of my childhood. And I sit here at night just thinking and holding my tears and it's hurt in because I don't want anyone to hear me crying at night. Lisa, you better let those tears out. It is nothing to be embarrassed about. I cry at the drop of a dime, and I am not ashamed of it. I embrace it because you know what? It's just energy. And it's a blessing that you get to release it. You get to cry. That's beautiful. Let the tears go, let them flow. And once you allow that energy out, I guarantee you, you're going to feel so much better. You may not have it all figured out, but just allowing the tears to flow is going to allow you to release some of this energy that you're holding on to, because you deserve more than that, queen. You deserve more than carry that silence, because your trauma is not you. And you acknowledging that and you naming that trauma and you allowing those tears to flow, that's you reclaiming control over that story of what the trauma created for you and in you. And now you get to say, I'm a victim no more, because I'm definitely not powerless to this trauma, and I'm not powerless to my tears. This is my gift. This trauma was a part of my story. It was part of my healing path. So I'm listening to something way more powerful. Watch what I'm about to do next. That's how you handle that, queen. Don't allow that energy to define you. Don't allow that person who slammed the door to define you, because that's just their loss. And he's just missed out on a beautiful blessing that you really are. The way of integrity, finding a path to your true self, is phenomenal. She says integrity is a cure. Absolutely. You know what is so funny, Angela? And thank you for sharing that. I'm not familiar with this book nor the author, but she says a lot of the same things that I just said. I think I just put something on my social recently about integrity. Integrity, values. Once I reclaimed that, there was no ceiling to what my life could be like. There is no ceiling on how far I'm going to go, because I lead with integrity. I lead with values. I lead the way that spirit created me. And it is absolutely a cure to psychological suffering, because I realized the reason why I was suffering so much is because my truth was I wasn't happy. But I thought that I had to be married in this marriage, in this house, because that was the American dream. But deep down, I wasn't happy. I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew I wasn't happy. But you know what? Spirit said, you won't leave. I'm going to take it from you. And then that's the thing about spirit. See, spirit is not going to wait for you to decide when you're ready to heal. Spirit will make you heal. Spirit is going to shake you up and make you see it's time for a change. So why not just prepare for it? Why not just embrace it now? No need to fight it. No need to resist it. Thank you, Deirdre. Thank you so much. And thank you to all 108 of my meditators and those that have donated. I really appreciate you all for joining me for this World Suicide Prevention message, because like I said, this is bigger than us, bigger than me. This is more than just awareness. We are building something that is going to outlive all of us. That's beautiful, soulmates. I am so grateful to be alive to do this. And I'm grateful that you're here to experience this and be in this space with me, soulmates. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you, Angela. I will. I appreciate that. No problem, Lisa. And feel free to reach out. We all need to realize that no matter what happens, no matter if the jobs, if the relationships end, if them doors close, guess what? You are still worthy. You are still valuable. You are still lovable. And you are no less than the person next to you. This is why I don't compete with anybody. This is why I don't chase. I attract. Because we don't need to. We are perfect just the way we are. And just remember who you are, Queen. In that moment of weakness, because I understand. I have a friend of mine, really good friend of mine, went to college with, who just went through a breakup recently. And she's devastated, rightfully so, because it hurts. But I told her, because this is actually the second time, I just reminded her, I said, so think about what's getting ready to happen next. Don't focus on the whys. Why it was so easy for them to walk away. Focus on the what's next. Because watch what's getting ready to come into alignment. Watch you're about to find a house of your dreams. Watch you're about to get the things that you deserve. Because you don't realize sometimes, soulmates, that certain people, certain energies will block you from your abundance and your blessings. So sometimes you have to let doors close. You have to let certain relationships in. Let spirit lead. You just show up being the best you, taking things one day at a time. Love on you, Lisa. Because see, that's the part I forgot. But when I remembered who I was and returned to the love for me, that's when I realized that, oh, wait, I am a child of the Most High. I am divinely guided and chosen. And this life that I have is worthy. It is so valuable. And allow yourself to feel it. I'm not saying don't go through the grief, because grief is a process in itself. Allow yourself to feel the tears, the emotions, all of the emotions. Don't run from it, but don't sit in it either. And if you need some write notes, I used to put up stickies around my house, Lisa. Positive messages, affirmations. I had a poster board full of positive quotes. So when I couldn't get out of bed on my worst days, when I just knew that I wasn't worthy, I had to look at something to remind me of who I was, to help me pick my crown back up. Because we are human. We'll have good and bad days, good and bad moments, but they don't define us. It's time for Lisa to be there for little Lisa. Yes, this is what we are. This is what this energy is bringing us. Today is September 10th. September has started out pretty fast. I don't know about you, soulmates, but the energy this month will be fast. Things are being shaken up. Like I said, we just had the eclipse on Sunday. And I know a lot of people that went through shifts in their relationships and their finances. But towards the end of the month, we'll be able to create new energy. We'll be able to plant new seeds with the new eclipse, a new moon in Virgo. So I want to invite you, soulmates, to start thinking about what it is you're ready to create next. What's your next? We are almost over in 2025. I'm already creating my 2026. I've already started planning that out. Yes, Ivan, it hurt at first, but here recently I have found myself still smiling and being the sweet person that I am. And I ask myself, wow, healing is so different every day. Some days I don't think about that hurt, and some days I do. That's it. Some days you won't think about it. Every day is different. And the energy is so intense right now that there's nothing you can do but just wake up and go with it. As much as you want to have control over what the day is going to be like or what the energy will bring, it's not always like that. I had to explain that to my partner recently. He said he's tired of all the ups and downs. He's a Scorpio like me. We feel it intensely. And because I'm so cosmically aware, I had to explain to him there's nothing that you can do. Just go with the flow and just sit in the energy. Don't run from it. Don't be angry. Be patient with yourself. So be patient with yourself, soulmates, as you go through this. As you grow through this spiritual awakening, because that's exactly what this is. We are all going through it, whether we know it or not. But we get to do it together. And we get to do it in real time. And we get to do it here at the touch of our fingers, on our cell phones, on the computers. You can get on Insight Timer and find like-minded individuals to heal with. People that can help you co-create what your next chapters will look like. We didn't have this. I didn't have this 6 years ago. I didn't even know Insight Timer existed. I didn't know people like me existed. I didn't even know people like me lived. I didn't know that there were people suffering in silence like I was. I was a 35-year-old married woman with a child, working a corporate 9 to 5, making 6 figures. But deep down inside, I was unhappy. And deep down inside, that still wasn't enough for me to feel like my life was worthy of living, because the check didn't matter. It doesn't matter how much money you bring home or how much money you don't bring home. Pain is pain and healing is healing. And nobody is worth it, or nobody is less than. We are all worthy and deserving of it. Oh, that is powerful, Lisa. I love that. And I'm glad that they introduced this app to you. I found it after my awakening process, and so grateful. Are You Okay Day in Australia? That is beautiful, Bendy, and thank you for sharing that. Absolutely, Deirdre, we are. And I want you to think about this, soulmates, before we conclude. I want you to know this as we're leaving, that no matter what it is, your story, your silence, your trauma, whatever it is, it doesn't define you. You matter. Even in the weakest of the moments, you matter. Your voice is medicine. And we are all still standing. And together we are all going to heal out loud. We are healing out loud every day. Every day you choose to live, you choose to heal, because healing out loud is living out loud. Everything we do is connecting us to who we are truly meant to be in this lifetime, bringing us closer to the path that Spirit has designed for us. It's already written, soulmates. You just go with the flow. Wake up, trust your intuition, and allow Spirit to do the work. Allow yourself to release it. What are we hiding it for? Why are we carrying it? Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. We've been through too much to continue to hold on to pain from our past or the anxiety of our future. Let's make a promise today to live just this day in alignment, in truth, in leading with integrity, honoring your truth, expressing it, and just take it day by day, one breath at a time. Oh, thank you, Deirdre. Thank you, soulmates. And again, if you are moved by this, please feel free to donate. Please reach out. Like I said, I'm doing my book tour, so please do subscribe to my newsletter, subscribe to the YouTube so that you can be in the loop. And if you want to invite me out, I'll come speak at your organizations, your companies, your communities, Zoom, in person, whatever the case may be, soulmates, because the time is now. And if you are interested in my book, like I said, is on Amazon under Healing Out Loud under Kiana Chatine, or my website. And you never know, somebody in your circle, somebody that you may know may actually need the book more so than you yourself may need it. Because I guarantee you that 1 in 3 people are experiencing a period of transformation where they're needing additional tools and resources to help them figure out the what's next. Because talk therapy is not for everybody. Sometimes we need more. And to be honest, the way of doing healing and the way we've been doing treatment has to change now, just like the world is changing. So reach out, soulmates, and thank you all so much again for joining my live. Thank you for celebrating this day with me and honoring those that we have lost, because I always say they did not die in vain. They still live on, even on the other side, for everybody that we have ever lost to suicide. Their legacy, their lives still matter, and I'm the proof that it does. So I get to speak on behalf of those that are voiceless. Thank you, Lisa. I am proud of you. It is titled Healing Out Loud. Put it in the chat. Oh, Lisa, I'm so sorry to hear that. But I want you to know that your friend was not weak. And it was nothing that you can do. I always want to encourage and remind the survivors to not blame yourself, not ruminate over the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, because it's not your fault. Thank you, Deirdre, for that generous donation. I appreciate you. I did a fundraising event in July for Tam's Beautiful Butterflies. A woman in Southern Illinois, her daughter died by suicide in 2014, and she asked me to speak at the fundraiser. And it really meant a lot to me because as a mother, I can't imagine what that feels like. But I'm proud of the fact that she is using her daughter's legacy to continue this fight. That is such a strong and powerful thing to do. So I was so honored to be able to speak there, but to remind her, as well as the other survivors, that her legacy lives on. She's speaking to us from the other side, just like your friend does, Lisa. So days like this in the month of September, let's not look at suicide as, oh, I feel sorry, or oh, it's such a tragedy. Let's celebrate the lives of those that could not speak in silence. And let's turn suicide not into a tragedy, but as a story of triumph for those that are still here. It's not something we got to be afraid of anymore. And we can't hide from it. And it's okay to say that we have suicidal thoughts. It does not make you weak. It makes you even more human and stronger to admit your truth. Jessica, wow. See, soulmates, you can't make this up. That's the way spirit moves. Jessica just said, I just joined, late as usual. You're right on time. This evening, I spoke with a volunteer at Suicide Holiness as I've been struggling, and it's been too much. Hotline, I say. Thank you, Jessica, and thank you for reaching out to the hotline. Please reach out to the 988 number if you are ever feeling like that, soulmates. There's support. There is support. You are not above asking for support. None of us are. Allow your ego and your pride to die because your life, your voice, your breath matters more than what somebody is going to think about you if you told the truth about how you really felt. Your voice and your breath matters more than what anybody else's opinion is. I'm so grateful, Jessica, that you did that. And please reach out, Jessica. And I would also invite you to read my book. As a survivor, I wrote it for women like you, especially women like you, women like us. Because I was you, I am you. We are all in this together, soulmates. Women like us. I wrote it for women like us who feel like they don't have anybody to turn to, who feel like we have to carry it all too, because just like men, women too also feel like we have to carry it all. And we are made to think that we have to hold it in and we have to be pretty and we can't get angry and we can't cuss and express our emotion and anger. At least I know I couldn't. I didn't even like the anger emotion. How dare I tell somebody that they were overstepping a boundary? See, that was the old version of me, the weak version of me that didn't even realize that my voice was powerful. And I had every right to speak my truth and say no and set boundaries and let people know what I will and will not tolerate. Absolutely, Jessica. Allow my book to just be one reason why you get up out the bed. One reason why your voice and your life matters. Because it does, Jessica. And I just want you to think about where you're going to be at this time next month.